So my guests today, as I've said a few times during the show, are Athena and Doug of Big Rock Creative. So we're going to have an awesome discussion of the things that y'all do for the social VR situation that's out there and is becoming really popularized lately. I did want to point out that, we're going to be talking about alt space, and that is where I've initially encountered Doug. I've never met you to this point. Athena, I have encountered you in alt space itself a few times. And what I want to jump off first is if somebody doesn't know what virtual reality is, everyone's heard of it, or they picture people doing goofy stuff with these headsets and playing games and whatever, but there's much more to it. There's the social aspect. For people that want to know what the social aspect of virtual reality is, how would you describe it to them?
We both stand there and stare at each other. Describe virtual reality. Can you describe a rainbow to a blind person? It's a very difficult question. There's lots of layers. So like a Zoom call is technically virtual and reality. So what we do is immersive social virtual reality, which means you're immersed in a completely different world with other people, social. It's virtual, which means you can be at home and then be in this other place. And it's real. It's very, very compelling and real and engaging.
Absolutely.
So that's immersive social VR.
And
it's...
go ahead, Doug.
I was just going to point out that it's, in a way, more familiar to you because you're in a space, you walk over to somebody, you talk to them, you walk over there, talk to somebody else, and you talk to them. So imagine being at a cocktail party where you can walk around the room, say hi to people, and have private conversations and such like that. So when you strap that headset on your face, you can look around, walk over there, talk to that person. So it's the most immersive of the virtual platforms.
And that key word, immersive, the technology nowadays. So VR is officially out there through the past couple of years with a few new devices made primarily by Oculus. They've popularized and legitimized with those technologies affordable headsets that people can, for $299, you can get a headset and some controllers and be doing this. Now, the timing of that with the whole COVID thing really shutting down in real life or IRL events, now the events are going on in this amazing virtual reality situation. So that's what we're going to be talking about with both of you as far as Big Rock Creative and the events that you create and host. So with that being said about the VR side of things, what do you two bring to the table as far as developing these worlds and environments? And I know that you both have backgrounds in things such as broadcasting and cinema, so let my listeners hear about some of that.
Well, we're storytellers. We're both, Doug is a documentary filmmaker. I've worked in production for documentary film. I've been in front and behind the camera. And we both produced large-scale events as well as camps at Burning Man. And where we got our start in virtual reality is Burning Man. We created an official virtual Burning Man experience called BRCVR that has now won several awards.
Excellent.
And it's very awesome. It's exciting. And it's a way to build community. You know, like there's community in gaming, but this isn't gaming. Like we have people come onto the platform and they're like, I don't understand this game. Does it have levels? No, well, it's life, and you level up life.
Exactly.
You bring in your friends and you build community and you do things together and you hang out and you go explore and go on adventures. And that you can do from the privacy and safety of your own couch. And you don't have to pitch a tent somewhere, although I advise people to still do that.
Mm-hmm.
Still go out into nature, still enjoy it, but it's in your headset. And you don't have to have a big gaming computer. You don't have to have one platform or another. If you have that VR headset for $299, you're in. And there's a lot in there. There's a lot in there.
I like the word community because that's what it is. So when I first started getting into alt space, it was tough to go see people, again, COVID, whatever. I have met people that are like, they're family to me now. Like, you're in there engaging with people like you would in the real world. So, but what you're providing is some of those amazing events for people to participate in, because you can only stand around in the alt space campfire and BS about the same old whatever. People do want these events. So now, as far as the Burning Man related stuff, I went to some of those last year in VR, and it was amazing. That's the word for it.
Yeah, Burning Man is a community and it's a culture, and it's just one that Athena and I knew very well for many decades. So when you go into that Burning Man world, it's about the little details, the little community jokes, inside jokes, but also sort of the accuracy of the whole world, and something that's meaningful to that community, and also accessible to new people coming into that community. So what we kind of specialize in is taking a community and giving it an extension in a VR platform. And that started at Burning Man, but could go into other kinds of communities. So that's number one, we're community building. Number two is that each world is a scene that we're creating, a cinema scene in a way, that tells a story. From the sounds so it's something we very much relate to. Athena and I, being in the LA sort of film industry, we're always thinking story. What is the story of the scene? What happened here? And so that's the other element that we bring to the table.
So with your backgrounds, you come together. Who is the founder of Big Rock Creative, or founders? You're the you both are.
The two of us.
Okay.
The two of us, We're the co-founders and producers of BRCVR. We've decided to maintain the titles of co-founder producer, because that's really what we are. And when you're building community, if you have these, and they'll come, because corporate America needs CEO, CTO, COO, they need the alphabet soup. But we haven't done that, because when you're building community, it's easier to bring everybody together when you don't have all these fancy titles.
I can dig that. Yeah,
we also have a rock star team, like just a really amazing, a really rock star team helping us out everywhere and doing and taking things off in other directions. So we're very excited about that.
When you were first formulating this idea that has come to be this amazing entity, what were some of the most difficult things in the beginning, for instance, to get things really rolling?
How do you take this event that is sort of well known and with a lot of frankly cynical people, cynical about how we're going to translate this event into a virtual space and have it have that feeling, and how are we going to get all these artists to take their art that exists possibly in the real world, convert it into a 3D model, and then get that model into a virtual space. So there's a lot of that. How do we teach people how to fly? Mm-hmm. How are we going to do in the virtual space? So we started doing trainings. We left a version of the space open. We didn't reveal it during the week of Burning Man. We left it open all the time. We gave trainings and showed people how to do things, and then those people showed people how to do things. And to this day, we're happy to give tours and show people how to do things so they can pay it forward. But it's that learning curve that we had to attack.
Well, that's something too, as you're trying to recreate something that you're in a visual and audible environment. The smells aren't going to be there. The touch and feel you're having to take this. However long Burning Man's been going on, I'm not extremely familiar with it myself, but this experience and this lifestyle, and pushing it into just two senses essentially, but it seems to have really taken hold, and people gave rave reviews about what you presented, and it's going to be going on. You have other things going on too, which we'll get to, but going through all
hearts.
You did. I heard people just raving over it. It was amazing with what little I was able to make it to. But so, were you doing other events in 2020? So I would imagine that the Burning Man related items were the primary focus or the most time consuming?
Well, the 2020 Burn Week was our singular focus. Mm-hmm. That was really all we were trying to get done. And then once Burn Week was over, we had this question, and this is a question that burners, I've been in the regional network for Burning Man. I started going in 99. I took over as one of the regional ambassadors to Los Angeles for Burning Man. And so I've been part of this community, and Doug's been part of the community for very long, longer than I have, very long time as well. But I've been, part of this network of Burning Man leaders all over the world. And we've always had this question like, Burning Man's only 1 week. What if it could be all year long? Mm-hmm. And that's what the regional network is supposed to be, the answer to that need for community all year long. But then we got isolated. We were told to stay in our homes and no sense of community. So after Burning Man, we had this question of what do we do with the virtual playa? Because normally everything needs to go away. But we have this call for immediacy, which is one of the principles. And we felt like it was our civic responsibility, which is another one of the Burning Man principles, to leave it open. So we did a ceremony, which we're going to do again tomorrow. But we did a ceremony where we took the playa away, leave no trace, another one of the principles, went back to Dusty Playa for about 4 days, and then we brought everything back and started doing mini burns. We did one the end of October, one the end of November, and then we did New Year's and brought not all 200 worlds, but like 60 worlds back online and had a little mini event and brought the community together and kept doing our Friday night parties and built an even bigger, more robust team. And we're building that team right now. So if anybody's interested in volunteering for BRCVR, just go to our website and sign up.
Yeah, especially if people are not as familiar or maybe scared of the technology involved, the actual VR itself. It's nice to have people that are well organized but also passionate about building the community. So people are, I don't know about that. Maybe I'm too old for VR or I'm scared of the... No. You're going to have a lot of support and you're going to be welcomed.
Yeah, and I did want to point out that while we're talking about a virtual reality headset, AltSpace, where we are located, is available on your Mac or your PC 2D.
Yes.
And so you don't need a VR headset to go in and go to a party or hang out or get involved. We build for the VR experience, and then there's some other, because that's our favorite experience. But we go in 2D all the time. So just don't think you need to have a VR headset to participate.
That was one of my bullet points. I was going to bring that aspect up. But yeah, you brought it up, and that is true. That's the flip side of it. If you just want to be on the flat screen side of things, you can participate. And
don't think that there's an age requirement.
Oh, no. Definitely not.
Like we have people of every age. My mother's 81 years old, and she gets on the platform. We have a lot of retirees. Burning Man has always been on the bucket list. Well, not always, but it is definitely on a lot of people's bucket list. And for health reasons or whatever, they can't go. This allows people to go. School teachers can't go. This is Labor Day weekend and the week leading up to it. School for most people start mid-August. So most school teachers can't go to Burning Man. And we had a lot of school teachers on the platform last year because they were so excited that they could finally go. And Burning Man sees the importance of the virtual world. And so they're going to keep this going. Even post-COVID, they see the beauty of bringing the community together on ours and the other platforms.
Well, we're seeing a lot of people who, I was going to say real quick, we're seeing a lot of people who are not gamer or sort of super experienced with the PlayStation or the Xbox. They're getting a headset so they can work out in the headset. They're getting the headset so they can use it as a social connection tool, and they're learning how to be in the VR headset. But there's a surprisingly little amount of gamers in this environment. It's mostly a social environment, which is really interesting.
I probably spend 90% outside of my gaming group of friends. Like if it's just me sitting down, I'm probably doing 90% of my activities in VR in, AltSpace, maybe a couple of the other apps.
Right.
But Yeah, it's something where I've heard a few people say, well, all this VR stuff, and when COVID lightens up and everything reopens, everyone's going to get back. But I think people have really gravitated toward this and have made those friendships and relationships. I don't think people, COVID's over, everything's open, they're going to put their headset in the closet. That's not going to happen because as long as people are having a nice blend.
Right.
We're giving with you, and we're in different countries. How am I going to go hang out with you? Once COVID is over, that requires an airplane and planning and money, or we can just hang out in VR in our headsets.
Absolutely.
Yeah, exactly. We give a lot of thought. What's going to happen is events are going to come back, but then the people who are throwing events have now realized that they're based on location limitations, a concert or whatever, you're going to have hybrid events now. You're going to have a portion of your audience that wants to go to your event that cannot go, that would prefer to be there in a virtual way. And that's what the future is going to be. Somebody across the sea can come to your local concert because they have access to the virtual version. The real version will still happen. We'll still go to concerts, but we still want to hang out together. We just broadcast, imagine having a keynote from your company or a keynote of somebody. We just had the Burning Man CEO give a keynote a few weeks ago. We broadcast it in Center Camp. So it was a video stream. She just did a Vimeo. We broadcast it into one of our worlds, and there was a bunch of people there. She finished talking, and then we all talked about what she said and had a town hall. And we had an immediate conversation about it live. And that kind of is invaluable. And
there was somebody there from Australia. There were 2 people there from France. There was a couple people from Italy. There were people from the San Francisco Bay Area and LA. We had about 100 or so people there, a little over 100, I think. We had, people from all over the place. And it's so easy to bridge the global community with VR that I believe that this is really going to bring us together as a humanity.
Yeah, that is absolutely true. And one thing I noticed, I forgot who's developing it, but there's even a translator application or add-on within there. So if you don't understand the language someone's speaking, it changes to text, correct? I haven't seen it yet, the actual asset. It was something they beta tested a couple months ago, and then they let us play with it. Now they've rolled it out across the platform. Whoever is in control of the world has to turn it on. Okay. But if it's on, then yes, someone can talk to you in Italian, and you'll read it in English. See,
and then I'll speak in English, and they'll read it in Italian. What they're working towards, and I don't know how far out this is, but they're actively working towards where you speak and it takes your vocalization and translates it and then speaks it to the other person, so the other person hears it in their native language and I hear them in my native language, and there's no reading the text. It breaks down all language barriers. I've been trying to learn Spanish, and once I heard they were working on that, I'm like, well, I don't need to learn Spanish now.
That's awesome. Well,
but it's still kind of beta.
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
But it'll work itself out. Everything was beta at one point and runs however smoothly. We have Athena and Doug of Big Rock Creative here on Happy Hour with DJ Loot. We're talking about some amazing stuff in virtual reality. And what are these awards that there are several awards that were won through your endeavors for these projects last year. What were those awards?
We won the No Proscenium Audience Choice Award for Best VR Experience of 2020, which we're very honored because the community gave us that award. Then we won the Aurea Award in 2021 for creativity, and that was very prestigious as well. But then for Doug and I, the one that just got us was we won the Producers Guild Award for Innovation.
Wow.
And for us, coming from the entertainment industry, it was a hometown win. And we're very honored to have that award.
Yeah, I make the joke that most people outside of LA think it's the golf. We won a golf award, the PGA. But it is the Producers Guild in LA, but it means something different in other parts of the country.
So yes, we won the Producers Guild Innovation Award. I'm very excited.
So plans for upcoming events. 2021, we're a third of the way through, and you're just going to keep cranking out these amazing events. Name some other things in the works.
Well, we've teamed up with Golden Apple Comics in LA and rebuilt their comic book store and a beautiful promenade in the back where we can do Q&As and screenings and mixers. We just did a mixer for the LA Comic Con, which I believe was called MicroCon. And a couple weeks before that, we did a mixer for WonderCon. And Heavy Metal partnered with us on that one. So we had some of their writers come and do a live Q&A. They were in Avatar answering questions from the audience and then mingling with them. So it's a great way to mingle with A-list talent who normally you never get to see except for on a panel on a stage far away. But because you're in an avatar, it's a safe space.
Yes.
So everyone can mingle and hang out. So we have that project that we're continuing to work on with them. We have a couple record labels that we've been talking to about a club for their talent so that their talent can constantly be performing and have a global audience. Of course, they're still going to do live performances, but this gives them an opportunity to showcase to a grander audience, even a bigger audience, not just location-based. For Burning Man, we are still doing our bi-weekly Friday night parties. So every other week, we have a Friday night party. Not this Friday, but next Friday we'll have another one. And that just allows us to build more community and bring people together. I do a talk about the principles of Burning Man the first Saturday of every month. So people can come, and if they have any questions about Burning Man, I'll happy to answer them to the best of my abilities. And then we'll talk about the ethos and the foundation of the Burning Man community, which are the 10 principles. And then we have lots of other things planned that we have a lot of companies coming to us with private events. So, I can't exactly tell you about them because it's not fair. It's like FOMO. I'm going to tell you about this really cool event, but you can't come because it's like a company party or a college graduation. We're doing a major university graduation also on the platform. We have some different companies doing their events on the platform. Film festivals doing their mixers. We did a South by Southwest mixer on the platform.
Something interesting.
Hallucinate, we can create. Yes, Doug.
Something interesting also is that Burning Man's trying to decide if they want to actually have a in-person event this year in a small way. And we're waiting to hear whether that's a go, no go. They're going to announce eventually. But if it does happen, we're going to send a crew out to that dusty environment and try to figure out we have on the drawing board 2 or 3 or 4 ideas for hybrid events so that you can interact with people out there and they can interact with you in a virtual space. Try to link, that's back to that hybrid event conversation, which is how are we going to link Burning Man, the real place, with the virtual space. And so we're looking forward to doing that if it happens.
Well, that's the thing too, that I've seen people, I guess I'll shout him out. So there's a guy that he's a guitarist named Shy, and he has done his concerts, and he has a video camera on himself, and you see him on the video screen, which is a tool that AltSpace has where you can broadcast whatever's on your browser, but then he's up there with his avatar moving around. So you're seeing the real him and his avatar him. That what you're talking about is absolutely capable. AltSpace is amazing because you can kind of do it all when it comes to performing events. The event structure is the most well-refined and the very best of any of these types of platforms. So all these things are going to culminate. Absolutely.
Yeah. And we are we consider ourselves content creators, not a platform. So we're sort of platform agnostic. We could build, if somebody comes to us and we're like, this would be better on this kind of platform, we would build it for that. So we're not, but we keep coming back to AltSpace, at least so far, because we know it so well, and we just think it's hitting the sweet spot of accessibility for Mac, PC. Heard rumors and some stuff in the future, other phony kind of phones and stuff. We don't know, but it just has the most access for what we need, for what people need to do. So, and if we're on there a lot, so if you come in, if you download the app and come in, you'll probably run into one of us somewhere.
And so just so folks that are listening, it's ALT space .com, I believe, is or altvr.com. Sorry, it's altvr.com. I should know this. I go through it all the time.
It's .com. It's altvr.com.
Yeah. But the app is called Alt Space. If you happen to be using a Quest or whatever VR device and go in the store, it's Alt Space. And there are other platforms, of course. But so tomorrow you had mentioned the event tomorrow. So what are the details on that once again?
So tomorrow, which is April 20th at 4:20, we are going to flip the playa. So right now, if you were to go to BRCVR 2020 on the Alt-Space platform, all the Burning Man art from 2020 is there, the man, center camp, the entire map, everything is there, just as it was for Burn Week. And what we're going to do is, if you come onto the platform at like 4:15, at 4:20, we're going to do a little ceremony and talk about Leave No Trace and the importance of it for closure. And then we're going to flip the template and everything's going to go away. And I wish it was that simple to clean up after Burning Man, because there's playa restoration, and they are out there for a couple months cleaning up all the trash off the playa. So this is just like a whip. We're going to flip the template, and it's just going to be dusty playa. And that will be the beginning of the countdown to Burn Week 2021. And if you keep going back, so if you come tomorrow, you can favorite that world. And if you keep coming back, you'll see different things. It's gonna evolve and change as we prepare for Burn Week 2021, which is August 29th through September 6th.
Okay.
So we have some building, and there's what happens on the actual playa, we're going to have happen. Like, there's a time when the surveyors go out and they survey and they figure out where's the best place on this massive dry lake bed for them to put the city. And then they do the survey, and then they outline the city, and then they figure out where the center of it is going to be and put down the golden spike, and the man is put there. So there's this
a lot of pomp and circumstance, for sure.
Pomp and circumstance, the tradition. And so in order to honor Burning Man, the community and the people and everyone, we're going to kind of do the same thing. And it'll be fun. You can come back and be like, oh, look, it's a little different. And then come back again and bring your friends, and they can favorite it. And ultimately, that's going to be the 2021 playa. But this year is going to be a ticketed event. Last year was free. But this year will be a ticketed event. It's not going to be expensive. It's going to be less than a cover charge at a nightclub, and you're going to get 8 days, 24/7 of more shit than you could possibly see in a lifetime. And it's going to happen in 8 days.
Now, so tomorrow, that's 4:20 Pacific?
Yeah. Pacific time.
Just wanted to
so whenever
clarify.
we talk about the time zone at Burning Man, at the virtual Burning Man, it's always the same time zone that's at the physical Burning Man.
Yeah,
so Pacific time zone.
So a lot of great things have happened, a lot of amazing things in the works. We're actually making really good time on the interview portion. Now, I did mention that I have a segment that I do with all of my guests. We can do that at any point. As far as the things that I personally wanted to ask and guide the conversation, those are the main things that I thought of. What are other relevant things that need to be known? Any information that we haven't covered yet that is relevant or...
Well, I think that if you're... there's a lot of people.
Oh, your connection was getting a little garbled.
Audio.
Am I garbled? You go ahead.
It's better now.
Oh, I'm back. I'm back. All I was going to say was if people are interested or want to check it out, I encourage you to go to one of our, social media portals, whether that's Facebook, BRCVR, or Twitter, or Instagram, or come on and find us. And if you want to get involved in some way, there's a lot of different ways you can get involved in something like this.
And you don't have to be tech savvy. If you want to get involved, we did a call with prospective volunteers on Sunday, and there were 2 people that didn't even have an AltSpace account and had never been on before, but they just wanted to participate because it's just so cool, and they want to be part of the community. And that's totally fine. We're going to onboard them. We're going to walk them through the process. We're going to help get them on the platform. And there's a lot of non-technology-based ways in which you can participate. You can help other people come onto the platform once you learn how.
Yeah.
You'll learn one, teach one. You can also, if you love spreadsheets and organization and putting people into schedules, we need people to do just that and organize that type of thing. Yeah, Doug, you're not. Okay. I don't know what to say.
No, it'll garble for like 5 seconds and then you'll be fine.
And then it'll come back. So the easiest thing to do is remember the initials BRCVR.org. B, Black Rock City Virtual Reality. That's what it stands for, Black Rock City Virtual Reality. However, we're also Big Rock Creative. So it's Big Rock Creative Virtual Reality, either or. But if you just go to BRCVR.org, you can find all the information you need about how to play in the digital dust. It's all the directions about how to get on the platform. And then you can click on participate and fill out a form if you want to volunteer, if you want to submit a world to be presented in this year's Burn Week, or if you have an idea for a world, but you just aren't, you have some art that you want to bring, but you're not sure how to do it. We will do what we can to teach you all the tools that you need in order to make that a reality.
Excellent.
How do I sound?
Oh, yeah, you sound better now. Go ahead, Doug.
No, I wasn't. I was just checking. Mic check. 1, 2, 3.
Mic check. 1, 2, 3.
Good
you
now.
sound great. Did you want to now say what you wanted to say?
No, you pretty much covered it actually.
Okay.
All right. So
we are on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. We're on all those things. But if you just go to the website, you can find the links to all those things.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask it. So everything, kind of like on my website, it's just go to djloot.biz. It's all there. Go to brcvr.org, everyone listening, and you can check out everything to do with all of this. You want to do this or that segment? Let's do this. Now, I do have this intro. I don't, unless you're actually listening to the feed, I don't believe you're going to hear this intro, but here it comes. Actually, I can mute this. Let me have it to where you can hear it. You can get with this, or you can get with that. You can get with this, or you can get with that. You can get with this, or you can get with that. Okay, let me bring my mic back up. I had to mute my mic so you could hear that. It's that old classic. You can get with this, you can get with that.
I love it.
All right, and I have this fun. Let me let you hear what's going to be underlying us. It's this stuff right here.
Game show music.
Get back on air. Yeah.
All right.
These are the little tricky things. Got to jump around and click little different things when we're via Zoom. But shout out Zoom for being an awesome way for us to do this. Okay, so now that is handled, let me bring up my file here. This or that is a little fun segment that lets folks get to know my guests just a little more on the personal side. Nothing too deep or too personal, but I'm going to give you these 2 choice options, and y'all tell me. Now, it can be one or the other, both, neither, but there are no third or fourth options. Don't be trying to throw those in. Okay, so pet you'd rather have, a badger or an iguana?
Iguana.
Athena says iguana. Okay.
Dad, what do you want?
I'll take a badger.
Huh. Well, we have a mammal and the other's a reptile. I like both. I like both enough because I've never really been around them. I think I would go iguana. I like lizards and snakes and reptilian creatures. Although my favorite animal... Oh, go ahead.
I think the iguana is less likely to attack me.
Yeah, that's possible.
I know,
yes.
like badger.
Iguana could eat the crickets too. That I have a lot.
Yeah, the iguana's going to eat all the bugs, and that badger's probably at some point in time going to try to break into the house.
Yeah, those things are nasty. I've heard.
They are nasty.
My personal.
I could finally put up a "Beware of Badger" sign that nobody ever has, and so
man,
an opportunity for that.
I'm not putting this out there as a third option, but I love otters, the Asian small clawed otters. Those are my all-time favorites.
Yeah,
but,
I'd be totally into having an otter.
Yeah, those are good. But yeah, I'm going iguana. Okay, destination for whatever reason: Tokyo or Dubai.
Tokyo.
Want to go to Tokyo, huh? All right.
That's hard. I think I'm going to go with Tokyo.
I'm going to go Tokyo as well. I love huge cities and big infrastructure and getting lost in skyscrapers. And while Tokyo is actually, I was looking, I believe Hong Kong has the most skyscrapers of any major city. They're just massive amounts of them. But Tokyo also has that. But Dubai also has the tallest building in the world. Not freestanding structure. That's a radio tower. But yeah, the Burj Khalifa. And I want to visit that one day. I want to parachute off it.
Japan is on my list, and I think Tokyo is. You can have a lot of fun in Tokyo, and
yeah,
robot bar. And,
I want to go to
Tokyo's on my list.
All right, movie. Actually, this is the entire series of them. What do you like more, The Hangover? I guess it's a trilogy, or the Austin Powers trilogy.
That's interesting.
Austin
Powers.
I'm an Austin Powers.
I would say in its totality of comedy, I would have to give it to Austin Powers.
Yeah, same. Absolutely.
More funny over the course of all. I feel that the first Hangover movie was kind of brilliant. I loved it.
I loved it.
But in the totality, I'd have to give it to Austin Powers.
Yeah, Austin Powers' the whole situation is just so classic. I don't even want to try to quote a quote from it because there are too many. But yeah, we all dig that. Music artist. Okay. Michael Jackson or Prince?
Prince.
I'd have to go with Prince. Although, I think Michael Jackson's first Off the Wall album is really, really, really great.
Brilliant.
I like it better than Thriller.
Oh, okay.
I mean, just because Thriller was sort of like drilled into my head a lot during the time. But that Off the Wall album. But in totality, I gotta give it to Prince. Yeah,
well, Prince, and a lot of people, I've asked this one a couple of times in the past, and it really comes down to, well, Prince was the real musician of them, and Michael had that voice and the entertainment package. But if we're going by as a music artist, yeah, Prince, it's got to be.
I actually went by Paisley Park before COVID, and it was pretty. Prolific is an understatement. Like all of us are not getting anything done compared to Prince. Like he has vaults of music. And it's insane.
MMA or boxing?
I have a hard time watching anybody hit anybody.
Yeah,
even if it's a sport. I'm just like,
no worries.
I can't watch it.
No worries. I provide a variety of questions.
I would pick MMA only because MMA is what MMA is a soap opera. In a way, it's kind of a male soap opera, sort of. The drama, so it's got more story behind it. Certainly a boxing match can have a story and call outs, but I think it's something ridiculous about MMA.
I'm going to go MMA as well, and anyone that I think people that consider the quote purity of the boxing and I've heard that terminology used or however they word it.
Boxing is sort of a real. I don't think of MMA as real, 100% real, but I consider boxing real. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. I think the people in MMA would consider it real. I mean,
it's real, but it's a different kind of talent. It's
But there are rehearsed moves. Yeah.
Yeah.
Seafood or pasta?
Pasta.
I'm hearing a little opposites there. So I think I'm going pasta for what I prefer. But why seafood? Just curious, over pasta.
Like seafood pasta, maybe.
I think pasta is one thing in various different shapes, and seafood is a lot of different flavors. There's a huge, when you say seafood, there's more ocean on this planet. There's more water covering this planet than there is land, and the diversity, although it's being cut down incredibly quickly.
Yeah,
but the diversity in our streams and our rivers and our lakes and our oceans of what you can eat it's incredible. It's just massive and amazing.
I've often considered a pescatarian diet or trying to eat just more of the seafood, but my all-time favorite meal is spaghetti with grilled turkey or with ground turkey meat and cheddar cheese melted on it, and a lot of garlic and a lot of salt. So I'm going pasta. Yeah, I think if I have the choice, it's pasta for me.
I think it's a reference to, I just love Italian food, and then there's a lot of seafood in certain parts of Italian food, but just something about Italian food.
Can't you take like pasta with a cream sauce and like some mussels and scallops and a garlic and maybe a little asparagus, and you mix that all up together, and that would be really good.
Maybe it should have been
or shrimp,
bread or pasta.
Okay. No, that's fine. I'm sure I'll come back. I recycle these occasionally, and that's a good idea for one. Would you rather have this is a weird sort of one, but would you rather have the ability to float down slowly from any height or jump up to any height?
I don't want them both. You got to dismount.
They're both useful for different things. But I feel like with floating down from any height, you'd be taking a lot of elevators up so that you could float down. So maybe if you want to jump up to any height, it'd be a great way to get away.
I like to jump up to any height because I like rappelling, but I don't like climbing. I like the rappelling part of climbing, but I don't like the climbing part of climbing. So if I could jump up to the top of a mountain with all my ropes and gear and then just rappel back down and then jump back up and rappel back down, that would be cool. I'd be down with that.
And I like that logic and that choice. Yeah. Because you still have to get up there. You can sit there and fly. But the thing is, if you ever happen to fall off of something really high, I would like to be able to float.
Yeah. So you just got to be careful.
Okay, for whatever reason, the year 1998 or 2003?
98 was a good year. I would give 98.
Okay. And then Athena?
She froze there for a second.
No,
she's thinking.
I think 2003.
Okay.
I think 2003 was pretty epic for me. 98 was the year I missed Burning Man.
Oh,
and I went
so
in
a bad reason to.
And
not
98
like
was
much.
Doug's first year at Burning Man.
All right. Let's see. 98, I was just coming back from living in London for college. 2003, I was just starting to get into my life as a music producer, approaching college graduation. Several years after I should have, I kept changing major. Let me just say 98, because I was hanging out with my very best friends all the time, coming off of that amazing London experience. 98. Yeah.
The world seemed so innocent back then.
It really did. Actually, 1998 was a good year because that was the year I was named by Miller Lite as their Scream Queen of the Year.
Ah, okay.
But that was one of the reasons why I couldn't go to Burning Man, because I had to go on tour with Miller Lite.
All right. Last two, and then we'll do these last two, and then we'll recap some of the info of where they can find everything to do with BRCVR and everything else. Game you'd rather play, poker or rummy? Not necessarily around the monetary or gambling aspect, but just the game itself, poker or rummy.
I like rummy. That's with the tiles, right?
Yeah, I like rummy.
I've been into Texas Hold'em. Poker Stars and the whole VR thing. It's one of my favorite things to play with friends. I just love Texas Hold'em. I love the whole bluffing and this and whatever. But rummy is a personal favorite. My problem with rummy, maybe I shouldn't say it because people expect my approach, but I tend to hold on to too many cards and try to do it big in the end, and that kind of messes me up in the end because someone goes out and then I got all the negative points. So I just said it right there. That's my weakness, everyone.
So you're a good person to play with.
Yeah, I could be, but maybe now I could just change my approach and play more often. He just wants a big.
Let's see what he just wants. Here they are.
Very final one. Now you're still able to do all the activities you do for the virtual reality and everything, but this job you'd rather have. This is your job: long haul truck driver or airline pilot.
Airline pilot.
Okay.
I like planes. I love airplanes.
Yeah, I would say airline pilot. I really like planes. Although I will say, when I was a little girl in elementary school and they would say, what do you want to be when you grow up? I'd say, I want to be a truck driver.
Awesome. Well, that's
all 3.5 feet of me. I was like, I want to be a truck driver.
There's something romantic about truck driving, sort of, seeing America from the ground, and it's and the cab. You have a nice cab. I mean, it could be actually kind of fun as well.
Drive around with
There's something about airplanes, though.
I love airplanes.
Learning how to fly airplanes, the technology. It's probably stressful to land and take off, but I started taking flight school not too long ago over here near me. I did a couple lessons.
I didn't know that.
Oh, wow.
I really like.
Cool.
Yeah.
So that was this or that. Oh, I would go with the truck driving just because you get to see, if I have a few minutes, I can pull over and take some pictures. I'm into photography and all that. You're flying the plane.
By the way, when I was a kid in the 80s, I was way into CB radio.
I still am.
Radio, and I have a book of all the CB call-outs. Everybody knows what a 10100 is. Or
yep.
I used to have a CB in my dad's Suburban.
I had an antenna attached to the house and a 100 watt illegal 100 watt. And I talked to truck driver.
Yeah, I had my Antron 99 80 feet up. I could squash everybody in town. But then I got my ham radio license. I have the highest class of that, the extra class. So fellow CBers, love it. My handle still is. My handle is Motormouth.
Wow.
There's your play name right there.
So. All right, so that was this or that, and so everyone listening, I have been tuned in, or you've been tuned in with DJ Lute here on Happy Hour with Athena and Doug of Big Rock Creative. We've had an awesome discussion of the activities that they are doing for virtual reality-based events, especially based around Burning Man. So we have about 5 minutes left. Any last things that need to be said, go ahead and shout out where they can find you all again, and we'll head on out.
BRCVR.org or on Facebook at BRCVR or Twitter or Instagram. You can come.
All of them. We're on Discord. We're on Discord if you're interested in doing any building. And then you can find us in Altspace. Just look for events that say BRCVR, and we will be there, and our entire team, and come by and say hi.
Sounds great. And I'll be in there tomorrow. I'll have to, now that I've actually, now Doug met you and then we're more familiar with each other, let me lend some assistance. I'd be glad to help. I'm in there virtually every day, and I want to keep communicating with you and help in any way I can.
Awesome. We'd love to have you.
Great.
Absolutely.
And, maybe you could do your radio show live from inside VR and we could broadcast it and your little avatar could be interviewing people and stuff.
That would be so cool.
I've considered doing that. All I would have had to do really is I probably need a second laptop or something and use the web projector add-on. It's doable. I'll have to put a little thought into it so it goes smoothly because the primary thing is the FM broadcast, making sure that goes smoothly. But I want to bridge the two technologies. People have asked me to do it in there or bring it in, so you're right. Let me think about that.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So I will see you in the space. I have to give my shout-outs. First and foremost, OzCat Radio. And Doug and Athena of Big Rock Creative, Siren, Mrs. Loot, and Ma Loot for contributing the 25 years ago stuff that I read before I brought you all on. So absolutely love the interview. Have a blessed day, and I'll see you in the space.
It was great. Good talking to you. Thank you for having us on. This was really fun.
Maybe next year we'll do it again and we can talk about everything that's happened and the upcoming things. I like to bring people back.
We're in. 100%.
Sounds great. All right, I'm going to play my outro, and everybody listening, this is DJ Loot. We're broadcasting on OzCat Radio, KZCT, 89.5 FM. Let me play that outro, and then I'm getting out of here. See y'all. You've been listening to another episode of Happy Hour with DJ Loot. Be sure to tune in every Monday from noon to 3 p.m. right here on OzCat 89.5 FM. Until next time.
Cheers. Cheers. Cheers.